All right, so we are back. This is part 2 of our 3-part series. 2026, hopefully.
Hopefully it's only 3 parts. Yeah.
2026 Chevy Silverado. John just got this truck. It's pretty damn awesome. You're going to see some pictures of it here. Only 800 miles on this thing.
Should have factory grease still.
Still there. Right.
So hopefully we're not fighting bolts. Hopefully we don't have to break out the cheater bar or nothing like that. Maybe a good old impact to get it. So
yeah,
that's what we're hoping.
We're going to go over what come with the kit, and we're going to go over some tools that are going to be necessary to do this job. So we have 4-inch blocks in the back. This is a 6-inch leveling lift kit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? So it'll be 4 in the back, do a 6-inch in the front. Overall, it should give them about 5 1/4, 5.5 inches of lift.
Yes.
But you have the 4-inch blocks in the back. You have the U-bolts. Thank you. Yeah. Hardware to put those on. The brake line brackets.
Yeah, these are brake line relocation brackets.
And the electrical relocation brackets. You know, newer trucks got robots and stuff.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
New shocks. These will be a little bit longer. Biggest thing that we are going to have to remember when we're doing this right here is that we do not have to put aftermarket brake lines on or any additional pigtail kits for the electronics for John's truck.
Not at all.
Pretty sweet. Unlike the old K5, had to redo all new hardware just to make everything link up with a lift this big. So it's pretty sweet. We actually checked it the other day.
Yeah.
We know we have enough slack in those lines.
Yeah, we jumped underneath there the other day. We got enough slack, and Rough Country was good enough to go ahead and include all the relocation brackets and everything like that. So all the factory fitment should be perfectly fine, and we'll reuse some of the factory hardware as well. So that is also a great thing.
We'll cover those as we come up to them in this part 2. What you need to keep on. Hang on to everything until you're done.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're always going to have a little bit extra hardware because they're going to give you something to replace it with, but make sure you hang on to everything.
Well, Daddy told me if you don't have something left over, then
we're not doing that. Yeah, we messed up somewhere if we run out of parts. But big things you need to make sure you have before you get started. Make sure your hardware, check it, make sure you have everything laid out. 21 millimeter socket and a wrench.
Yes.
We're going to need that. We're going to need a 13 millimeter. That's going to be for our brake lines. Obviously, you're going to need a heavy jack. You're going to be laying up underneath this thing, or unless you got a nice man lift or something.
Yeah.
Jack stands. If you got substantial heavy duty jack stands, make sure you use them. If you only have some shorter ones, just make sure they're sufficient because you need something for this axle to rest on.
Because that's insurance.
Oh yeah,
that's what that is. That's life insurance.
Other than that, convenience item, a creeper is always great. If you got a pillow or a towel, you can wrap up because you're going to have your head kind of lifted up a little bit. Get a little creak in there, getting in and out of the truck. Look, there's 2 of us, so one of us can help hand tools around. But other than that,
that's my job.
Instruction manual. Make sure you have it. So other than that, we're about to jump right into it, John.
Heck yeah, man. We can't wait.
Right.
And I'm glad we're taking y'all along with spare plates.
Y'all follow along with us. Let's go ahead and get our jack underneath the truck. We're going to get it right here under the center of the diff. And we're just going to go ahead and lift this truck up, get it off the ground. Go ahead and get ourselves some clearance. I want to add a little note that prior to doing this, John went ahead and disconnected the battery to the truck.
And the battery to the truck is going to be a 10 millimeter.
Some recommendations that we read with these newer trucks, we want to make sure that we don't set off any sensors, airbag sensors, brakes are electronic, stuff like that. So, first jack stand, we just want to get it right up here on the frame. Make sure we get it nice and centered, plenty to bite on. We're going to do the exact same on the opposite side. When we get done with that, we'll be right back. We'll get into this thing. All right, now we got a 21 millimeter open end and a 21 millimeter socket. On an impact, we're going to break these shocks loose. All right.
That brand new truck makes it easy to come off, don't it?
Man, so sweet. Let's go ahead and let that shock come loose. We want to save this hardware. And up top, all you need is that open end impact. I don't know if you can capture that, John.
I got it.
All right.
put a little bit of pressure against it to make sure it doesn't have a bind, and the shock comes right loose.
Easy peasy.
And if your shock's as new as mine, a little tip, you know what I mean? We can get some money back, put them on eBay.
Facebook Marketplace, our friend.
Absolutely.
All right, we're going to jump over to the other side. We're going to get that one removed, and we're going to go ahead and jump on ahead to getting these brake line brackets put in, these electronic brackets. Go ahead and get that stuff set up. Well, we can still easily access it. You can probably see them right up here above this diff. So one bracket will be this one right here. That's going to get relocated and is going to raise. And this right here will be our other bracket. And you can see that right here, we have a decent amount of slack. Actually, I take that back. I'm over here BSing you. One bracket's going to be over there, but we're going to come right back to it. We're going to show you. Let's get this other shock off first. I'm just going to repeat what we did on this side, and we're going to keep tracking on forward.
All right.
See you.
We're live.
All right. Using that 13mm wrench or ratchet or wrench, you want to get these two bolts right here. Already kind of broken free. You're going to remove these two. And this is going to be that brake line that we pointed everywhere, but where we should have been pointing. Actually, I think this is one of the 4 places we pointed. So, I mean, we kind of got it right.
Almost.
Yeah. So, we're going to remove this bracket. Just kind of pull it out of the way. Rough Country provides this offset bracket right here. You are just going to take the original hardware and put it back in. Now, be mindful that this bracket needs to be pushed forward. So I don't know if, John, you can see that, but see how the bracket's going this way?
Yeah, absolutely.
And the lip comes from flush up against the frame at that downward angle and towards you. Make sure that's the way you have it.
Yeah, so the angle, it needs to be angled towards the towards the front of the vehicle, and it needs to be the bend, and it needs to be bent towards the passenger side.
Yep. And they provide some screws that you're just going to pop right on through here into the new. And you're going to have to kind of manipulate this bracket a little bit. Leave your original 2 screws just a little loose. That way you have some wiggling room. Make sure you get your washers on the back of here. And it's going to come provided with some 5/16 nuts and bolts. So we're just going to get these finger tight for right now. And the great part about everything that they're giving us is we have a lot of wiggle room, which has been ever so nice. So right now I'm going to go ahead and tighten up these 13mm, the original hardware, back to the frame. You don't have to over tighten these, y'all. Just get them nice and snug. You don't want to strip them out because these are threaded clips going through the frame. So just getting them nice and snug, not overdoing it.
Chinese torque?
Yeah, Chinese torque.
Gudentite.
Yep.
It might be German torque.
And then we're going to tighten these 2 right here down. And we will move on to placing in our offset bracket for this right up over here. You can't see it probably from where you're at, John. It's on this side.
We got it. Yeah.
But it'll be these little Z brackets that they're providing us. There's 3 of them. We'll get those right there put in, and we'll be well on our way to getting this rear end dropped down, getting a little bit of lift back here. All right, we'll see you in a minute. So right here, I've already broke these loose. This right here is going to be for your ABS. These brackets, we're just going to go ahead and put the offsets in. I've already broken these free because I'm a cheater, and I don't like for YouTube laying out there to see Uncle Brad struggle. So we're going to pull these 4 out. Honestly, these all 3 of these right here, I cheated and I used an impact wrench, and I probably could have used an open end. When I say they were so easy to get out, this truck is so new. Y'all, I mean, we haven't even done a break-in oil change on this thing yet. But there's 3 of these brackets.
Okay.
And this thing is going to shift forward. So these brackets are going to need to go just like this right here.
So the offset to the front of the vehicle.
Yep, that is correct.
All right.
So we're going to, now that we have this loosened up, everything looks clear to you, John?
Yes, sir.
All right, now we've got these right here loosened up. We're going to go ahead and get these installed, and we'll be right back. We'll show you what it looks like. going on next, we're going to be taking these U-bolts off.
Yep.
We're going to bust these loose. There's 4 nuts on the bottom side. They are 22, and they should come off pretty easy. Like I said, brand new truck. We actually already took the other side off. We're going to take them apart. We're going to do this kind of methodically. We're going to show you exactly what you need to do so you don't do this out of any work. All right.
First things first, you need to lightly support the differential with a jack.
Yeah.
So the axle doesn't fall out of place.
All right. About to waka waka.
Yep.
Once you get that first one starting to go, just go on to your next one. I like to try to take these off initially one at a time so we don't bind any of them up, get too much of an angle on. There is some weight on this. And you'll see how they get a little easier as we go. Alright.
Apologize for the noise.
Yeah, it's going to be kind of loud right here, y'all. We're going to go ahead and send it. Get this first one off. Now, this hardware that's coming off, understand you have been provided all new hardware. Don't ever reuse your U-bolts or the nuts. You can keep them around the house, projects, whatever you might have, but whatever you do, please don't put them back on a vehicle. One more to go. All right. I always try to go ahead and grab this old hardware, put it to the side so I don't mix up anything new. We got this bottom plate. We're going to go ahead and set that right off to the side.
We'll be reusing that bottom plate.
Pull these old U-joints off. Like I said, if you want to save them, project, whatever, feel free. But just remember, make sure you're not reusing them. Again, just so you know, me and John, we are not professionals. This isn't professional advice we're giving you. We're just a couple of old redneck boys trying to do the best with the little that we got. So other than that, we're going to go ahead and go to the other side, get all that stuff removed, and we're going to be right back. We're going to lower this diff, we're going to get these blocks set in, and we're going to show you how that goes. All right, so we're back, and John is back at the rear of the truck. We're going to be lowering the jack right now. Just keeping an eye on this differential because these brake lines, we did leave them loose. We did disconnect the brackets, but we're not putting the new ones on until we know what leeway we got to go. So John really easily is going to lower this down until I tell him to, whoa.
Here we come.
All right, let's see it.
Might take a minute because I'm going real.
That's okay. Put these 4-inch riser blocks on the back. Remember, this right here is just going to assist us with leveling. This is a 6-inch lift overall. These are just 4-inch blocks to offset that little bit of differential that you have on these 4-wheel drive trucks. If you'll notice, there's an arrow right here. We pointed that out during the unboxing video. John brought up a great question. He was wanting to know about our pinion offset for that U-joint and everything going into the rear differential. So these blocks, if you notice during the unboxing, the rear side is a little bit higher than the front side. If you were to put it on level ground, there's a pin on the bottom, pin at the top. That's what sets these. You can only put them in one way. It's the only way it's going to work. But with that slight angle offset, what it does is it adjusts that drive shaft angle, which makes it where you don't have to do any additional or unnecessary extra work.
Yeah, or measurement.
It already makes that adjustment for you in the install. So I would love to sit here and tell you that we were just rocket scientists and we knocked this out. We started about less than an hour ago. We're getting ready to wrap up now on this rear end. Not the best time, not the worst time. We did make one flaw in our air. We should have dragged the truck up probably another, let's just say we probably should have
6 to 8 inches.
No, we could have probably got away with another 3 or 4 inches, but we
Store them alive.
Yeah, when I say we had a ½ inch to play with to get these blocks in, because if you can't tell, we are bottomed out on that rear jack right now.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So,
there's no more room on that bottom jack.
Also,
And
another thing.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Go
another
ahead.
thing. You'll see we have this other jack right here in the front.
Right at the drive shaft where it connects to the front of the pinion.
What that's allowing us to do is this drive shaft's going to swing once you have it disconnected. What that allows us to do is pick up the front, lower the front, which helps you line up the pins at the top and the bottom.
Yeah, so there's a hole in the bottom of that lift block. There's a hole in the bottom, and there is a pin at the top. So
if you don't want to be a man and you just want to be a regular old car dude, get 2 jacks. It'll make life a lot easier.
heck
But
yeah.
we're about to throw on these U-bolts now. Get our bottom plate put in. We're gonna get this snugged up a little bit. We're gonna wonka down on here with these impacts, and we will tune back in, and we're gonna show you a finished product here in just a little bit.
All right.
So we have gotten our blocks installed, U-bolts installed, tightened down, torque spec,
And the brackets is on.
brackets is on. We had those right there, focused in.
Yep.
You can see them right there. Those little angle brackets. There's 3 of them. We did record putting the shocks in. We didn't want to belittle anybody. Obviously, shocks are pretty straightforward. Just make sure that when you're putting your shocks in, take good notes. It's not a bad idea to maybe take pictures as you go, because the pictures are always going to be in order. And when you go back, you can refer to basically reverse order as far as putting everything back together. So once you've completed that, just make sure that you're going back each nut you took off, every bolt that you took off, everything that you exchanged, bracketed, or whatever the case might be. Check with your finger, socket, wrench, ratchet, whatever you might have, whatever's easiest for you. But go ahead, just check all those right there. Make sure you didn't leave anything loose. Obviously, this right here is going to be your performance vehicle. This is what you're driving every day, possibly, so you don't want to be on the road. It is recommended that after about 100 to 500 miles, you get back under here, and you just do a slight torque down on them, just making sure that they're holding torque's not backing off and all that good stuff. Other than that, you should be golden. If this is just an everyday driver and you're not taking this to the woods for performance stuff or anything like that, you should be golden. But good rule of thumb, always come back, check those torque specs. So we're going to get these tires thrown back on. We're going to give you a quick glimpse of what this thing's going to look at with these tires on. I think we're going to be pretty happy with it. All right, so it has been almost right at an hour and a half. That was with camera brakes.
Yep.
Few other little small things.
Yeah, wife coming in, bugging you.
Hey, it's dinner time.
Yeah.
Not that we don't appreciate that. We do.
Yeah, we do love that.
But I'll say this right here. So rear lift is done. John's sitting back there now. You can see the space in that fender well. I'm stepping in here real quick just to give you a reference. So initially, and yes, we're using a drywall square. Initially, the truck was sitting right here. So obviously it's not leveled off yet. This is just the rear. So the original picture showed us at 38.5.
Yep.
And right now we are sitting at 45.5. So we got that much difference right now. It's definitely over, well, you know what? That was
46.
I mean, that's what, 6 inches?
Yeah.
Yeah.
38, 39, 40, 41.
I mean, I figured that we're going to lose about a half an inch once we level the truck off. We're going to lose a little bit of it. So
yeah. So right now we're at an 8-inch gain, but like he said, it'll
we're going to lose a little bit once we do the front, but
yeah. And once some shocks settle.
Yeah.
Once some shocks settle, we'll lose a little bit too.
So overall, rough country. Part 2 of this series. Again, like I said, we're going to start on the rear. It's the simplest thing. Tomorrow, we're going to knock out the front.
Yep.
That'll be part 3 of this series. We'll show you what she looks like afterwards, before and after. But overall, fairly simple. Could have been a one-person job. Everything's a little bit easier when you have an extra set of hands. But pretty much any tools that you might have laying around the house. Front's going to be a little bit different. We'll go over some of those tools when we get to that part 3 tomorrow. So, again, thanks for following along. Starting to lose a little bit of daylight, so y'all have fun.
Yes, sir. Y'all take care.